Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Sim X. Before I even go into any sort of detail, I would like to apologize for this black bar you see at the bottom of the screen. The reasoning for why that is a thing is because, okay, so FSX has been really unstable, and I mean really unstable. I've gotten so many crashes on it recently, and I have really no idea why. It used to work fine. I could play it for hours and not ever experience a single frame drop, really. But now, I don't really know why, but it's laggy. Well, no, it's not. Well, I mean, it is kind of laggy, but it's buggy. It's crashy. It likes to crash a lot, um, and I don't know why. So I've been trying to find a way to fix it. I saw somewhere, if you don't run the game in full screen, if you run it in windowed mode, you may not you may experience less crashes. So I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll try it. And I've done 2 flights in windowed mode, and I haven't gotten a crash. Even in places to where flying into it would always crash, JFK, it would always crash. Whenever I was in full screen, I tried it in windowed mode, worked. So maybe. But this is gonna be a big test because we're flying into JFK today. We're currently in Memphis, Tennessee, the hub of FedEx. And actually, I think one of the biggest cargo hubs in the world, if not the biggest. It's definitely the biggest in the United States in terms of cargo. It's, I think it's called like the Super Hub or whatever, something like that. So we are in a FedEx DC-10-10 freighter. This, this is a plane. It's a payware aircraft from JustFlight. It's I'd say it's pretty good. If it's study level, I can't really say. I've never seen a DC-10. I've seen its big brother, the MD-11, but I've never seen a DC-10, let alone step foot in the cockpit of a DC-10. So it cost me $40, 40 US dollars from JustFlight. You can find it on their website. There's also a Steam page for it for FSX. Don't buy it from there. If you read through the reviews, you'll see that the Steam version of it sucks. So buy it from JustFlight if you want to get it. So this features a full flight engineer panel. We'll look at the cockpit in a second, but it does feature a flight engineer panel. It comes with a bunch of things. It comes with the dash 10 and the dash 10F, as we see here. It comes with a dash 30 and a dash 30F and a dash 40 and a dash 40F, and they have a bunch of different liveries for each and every one from different companies like United, Continental, Air France, KLM, uh, FedEx, of course, Pan Am, Japan Airlines. It's just a whole bunch of Swiss Air, just a bunch of different companies. I think there may have been the Scandinavian one, maybe. But the DC-10, in my opinion, honestly, a good aircraft. Definitely had its issues, but you know, not the worst thing in the world. Every plane had its issues. It was a great aircraft, okay? Once I got that cargo door fixed, it was a good aircraft. Obviously, otherwise the MD-11 wouldn't have been made. It's just a modernized version of it, really. I mean, there are some changes with the MD-11, but for the most part, you know, still the same plane. Now, FedEx actually still operates DC-10s. They're under a new name, the MD-10, because they've upgraded the cockpit. It's meant to have a glass panel, glass cockpit, so like actual displays instead of regular gauges. It's like displays, and it removes the flight engineer panel. But it's still a DC-10. They're called the MD-10. It's essentially the same. It's like the cockpit of the MD-11, except the flight characteristics and it's like if you cut off the cockpit of a DC-10 and cut off the cockpit of an MD-11, and then you welded the MD-11 cockpit onto the airframe. That's essentially what it is. But this is a DC-10, all right? None of that. No glass, all right, other than the windshield and I guess the glass on the gauges. But there's no displays. It's all gauges. It's a fun aircraft, okay? And This is an interesting thing. This is so far the only thing I've seen like it. I don't know why it does it. I don't know why. I haven't tried any of the other freighter models, but you know that. So one thing that actually discerns the Dash 10 from every other model of the DC-10, if you look underneath it, all right, you'll see three landing gear, left main, right main, nose. Pretty typical. I was about to say stereotypical. Very typical. However, on the future models of the DC-10, they wanted to make it more longer range. So of course, they increased the fuel, the payload. It could carry more, but of course, the more weight, the more heavy a plane is, the higher chances of the gear breaking because of the weight. So McDonnell Douglas, they actually put in a fourth landing gear, kind of like the nose gear, just right here in the center. Right in the center of the aircraft. You can see this actually on aircraft even today on the Airbus A340. It has a center gear. That's to help with the increased weight. And that's actually modeled in these in JustFlight's rendition of it. You can even see without the engines on and no hydraulic pressure, the ailerons and the elevators, they sloop. They do a little droop there. And if I move my side stick here, my stick, I can move some of the ailerons, but can't move my elevators. The rudder, it's there. I can move the rudder. I just can't move the elevators. Without further ado, because I've been recording for say 6 minutes. Ooh, there we go. 6 minutes. We're just gonna hop into the cockpit. And this is what we're greeted with inside the cockpit of a Douglas DC-10. There's our wonderful flight engineer panel. Now, this is not how the aircraft comes up. It still uses the default FSX. Um, you know, if you just, it uses I want that anti-skid to be off. I tried to get it to where it's, cold and dark. I tried my best. As you can see, some things aren't perfect. I mean, the anti-skid was on. I just tried to pretty much make it to where, hey, you look like you'd probably be off. So I'm going to turn you off. Now, this plane does have an FMS. It doesn't really work. You can't use any of the letters, but you can use the numbers, You have to use the default FSX flight planner, too. That's really my only negative about it. But, let's go ahead and get this thing powered up, yeah? So we're going to come here. We're going to turn on this battery, and then we're going to turn on the DC bus ties, and then the AC bus ties. We're going to connect to our external power here. Then we're going to come up. We're going to galley external power, and then the galley bus ties, like so. We're going to turn on all these engine hydraulic pumps, and I'm going to go ahead and start the auxiliary pumps and turn on the rudder standby power arm. So we got 39,074 pounds. I'm not using SimBrief. I didn't use SimBrief to calculate any fuel. I'm using the default FSX knee board. As you can see, I put it in over. I've had issues with this thing to where it, it'll say like estimated time en route for a 600-mile flight, 8 hours. Estimated fuel required, 182,000 pounds. It's like, bruh, this plane can't even carry more than 160. We're going to set this pneumatic supply to auto. We're also going to put the packs. Alright, we'll keep them off until we get an APU up. We've got all of this. We're going to turn on the avionic flow override. We're going to come up, turn on the flight recorder and the CVR. I would do an engine and APU fire test, but as you can see, yeah. I don't know if there's a way to actually get that working, but as far as I'm aware, it doesn't work. I'm going to set the oxygen quantity there to system 1 because it says, it's not an op. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the APU up, so we're going to come here, we're going to turn on the APU fuel pump and turn on the APU starter. I'm going to hold it there for a couple of seconds. And we're going to set it to run. That'll get our APU online. While we're here, I'm going to go ahead and close these doors. We can actually see there's a door warning light thing, yeah, right here. Cargo door indication test. Air condition, trim, air pressure high. That's trim air is off. So I'll turn it on. Alright, APU gen on and gen buses all on. We're gonna disconnect from the external power. There we go. We're gonna come right here. Now this is the APU isolation valve. I think this is kind of like the APU bleed for the packs. I'm not too sure. But we're gonna open that and I'm gonna set our packs to auto. It says pack off. It won't eventually when I get the engines up and running. There we go. And now I'm going to turn on the cabin air recirculation fans. I'm going to turn on the lavatory galley vent and the cargo heat. You're not meant to turn this on if the rear cargo door is closed, but it should be closed at this point. Should be. Yeah, it's closed. So now we're just going to come over here. You're going to see a bunch of stuff up there. We're going to turn on the anti-skids. I'm also going to turn on the navigation lights and the logo lights. There we go. We're also going to go ahead and turn on our pitot heater. What are you saying? Are you the windshield heat? Whatever. I think those are both for windshield heat. I'm gonna arm the emergency lights there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the yaw damper. Give me a second while I try and find the windshield heat, because I can't find it for some reason. I mean, there's the engine. Yeah, oh, there they are. Window DS. There we go. We're also gonna turn on the avionics bus. That'll supply power to these little doodads. See our FMS right there. I'm actually gonna come over to the seat and load up our thing, cause yeah, we're gonna be getting some ATC here using the default FSX ATC. Cause that's how we roll now. I like the ATC and FSX. It works. It's not stupid like MSFS. We're gonna crest our FR clearance. Yeah. We should get the call sign. 3211.
15 heavy, clear to Kennedy Airport S file. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 6,000. Departure at 119.1, squawk 3211. 15 heavy, read that correct. Contact ground on 121.0.
Okay. We're gonna turn on outs. Flight directors automatically come on. We're gonna set our speed here to a 230. Set that. We're gonna go ahead and engage the heading hold, but we don't have a heading yet because we don't know what runway we're taking off from. You can actually see. Now, on a real Dash 10, I don't think this would actually be a thing, because of course it wasn't designed to have a center gear. But you can see where they popped the indicator out. Nose, left, right, center. Now, on the future models like the Dash 30, this is actually here. I had a freeware one where this was always here, even though it didn't really make sense for it to be there. Also, clocks. I'm actually going to stop you. Put you on hold. Now, I know this isn't aligned yet, and it will once we get the engines fired up. Speaking of which, I think we're good, actually. I think we're ready to start up the engines. So we're gonna come up here, we're gonna turn on the beacon light, and we're gonna head over here to the flight engineer panel. And just because I know the packs are on auto, but because, yeah, I'm gonna turn off the packs. I'm gonna turn on the fuel pumps. If I turned off one of these transfer pumps, fun. Alarm go bear. All right, we're gonna come back here. We're gonna make sure our power is at idle. Actually, before I do that engine start, I'm actually gonna go into this FMS. I don't know why it says DC-10-30, but you know, it does. Calculate V1 speeds. So V1 is 111, VR is 127, V2 is 140. So I'm actually gonna set this to V2 plus 10. Yep. There we go. V2 plus 10. Now it actually has a radio altimeter. And it has callouts. They're not great callouts, but it has callouts. Alright. We're ready. So now we're going to do the engine start. And we're going to do that by setting U to ignition, start A. The engine ignition to start A. And then we're going to pull on that. And we're going to wait until N2 is at 20%. And then we're going to set U to run. Little fuel control lever here. There we go. Alright, let's do engine 2. Alright, now engine 1. Okay, with the engines up and running, we're gonna set our ignition to Conte. Ooh, did we move a little there? Oh, we look pretty lined up. So I'm assuming we didn't move. Okay. Now we're gonna come back here to the dude. The temps on these are getting pretty high. From what I've seen, that is normal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the generators to the engines. And we're going to turn off the APU fuel pump and the APU itself. We're gonna disconnect the gen buses for it and turn off the APU generator. We're also going to close the APU isolation valve. We're going to turn off the auxiliary pumps. We're going to set the packs back to auto. And let me just do my little look at this engineer panel. Making sure everything looks good. We're going to set you here. Maybe on 2. We're gonna set our aft cargo temp. We're gonna set it to like 20 degrees. Say we've got, you know, dogs back there. Don't know why we would, but you know, just whatever. Whatever. Forward cargo temp, we're just gonna set that to actually we're not gonna put anything on that. Aft cargo vent. I think that's actually what you're not supposed to turn on. We're gonna keep this up though. Have air recirc valves on. I don't know exactly what's meant to be on and what's meant to be off. I could not find a a checklist for this. I mean, there is a checklist. I mean, if I open up the knee board here, it does come with a checklist, but it's just, you know, FO challenge, captain response, receiving aircraft. Everything's different, and I don't understand it, man. It's not what I'm used to. I mean, I could maybe decipher it, but I don't know. That's for a different time. That is for a different time. We're gonna make sure our packs are good. Yeah. Alright, so we're good. So what we're gonna do is we're going to where's the taxi light? Nose light. Nose light there. We're gonna turn on the runway turn-off lights. And we're gonna turn on you. Not really a need to, but no, I will. Got our guys there. Alright, we're gonna listen to ATIS on 12775. And take a drink. We're gonna do that. Alright.
Memphis Ground 15 Heavy with Quebec, ready to taxi IFR. 15 Heavy, taxi to and hold short of runway 27 using taxiway Victor. Contact tower on 118.3 when ready. Taxi, hold short runway
I'm actually gonna set 2,000 feet per minute there on the vertical speed. So out hold is on. Heading hold is on. We don't have any of this turned on. Alright. Turn on progressive taxi. Where the heck do I have to go? To the right there. Alright. So I'm just gonna release that parking brake. These engines are very quick to spool up. Kind of. Once they get going, they really get going. I didn't even check if my audio was good. If the audio is poor, I apologize. All I have is a headset. I'm using a headset for both audio, for like my audio and my microphone. Yeah, it looks like I need to turn it up. With the game volume. Might need to turn that up. By the way, what I just did was very unconventional. You'd usually use a pushback truck to get you lined up here. You know, to push back and get you lined up instead of, you know, doing what I did. But it's a simulator. Besides, I don't really like the pushback mechanics in really any Microsoft Flight Sim. The pushbacks in X-Plane are, I think, better. I've never actually used the default pushback method. I've always used Lord, what is it? Better pushback. Speaking of X-Plane, I do plan on going back to that. I've only done one video on it, and it was honestly very rushed and poor. I was tired when I made it. So I do want to go back to it. I feel like I did the 737 disjustice. But I do plan on going back there, especially since I have a DC-3 for it. But also just to redo the 737. Speaking of 737s, PMDG has had to delay their 737 release. It was slated to come out either like Christmas this year. I don't think that was actually ever gonna happen, but at least early next year. They've had to delay it due to a bug, or not a bug, an SDK, the API, the thing that they're using to implement the systems into it, for the sim. It's bugged. It's not doing what they needed to do, so they're colluding with Microsoft and Asobo to try and get it, good. However, it's something that people have been asking for months, and well, they wouldn't still be asking for it if they fixed it. Dang it, you went to go to run. Go to run. Yeah. Okay. Well, now that we're here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set the flaps to oh lord, I'm gonna go here to the right seat so I can actually see what I'm setting them to. We're gonna set them to 15. We're gonna set our trim to, something that's not gonna kill me. Am I gonna have to recalculate my V-speeds for that? Nope. Well, now it's B2 is 139, but I'm still leave it at 14050 instead of 149. Never mind. B2 plus 10. Okay. Memphis Tower's on 118.3. I'm not getting takeoff clearance yet. I'm just, getting that there. We're gonna go ahead and arm the auto throttle. We're gonna come up here, gonna turn on the landing lights. Runway turn lights are on. We're gonna turn on these strobes. Exit skid is on. We're not gonna turn on the anti-ice for the engines. There's no need. Take a look over there too. Flaps are set. Trim is set. Auto brake. Ejected takeoff. Forgot, not supposed to do that. But auto brake is set. Alright, I'd say I'm ready. Yeah. Oh, TCAS. There we go. There's no AI traffic, so. Cleared for takeoff, runway 27, FedEx, 15 heavy. So the way we're going to be doing this, I'm going to try and do this like a realistic departure. What you would do is you would pull back on the stick and you climb at a vertical speed that's keeping you at V2 plus 10 at takeoff power until you reach a certain altitude, and then you start, nosing down, speeding up, things like that. I'm going to try and do that. I don't really do that, in case you haven't been able to tell. Like, I've tried to, I've done similar things. I've just never tried to keep a specific speed. We're going to set that to takeoff. That's going to automatically engage our takeoff power. I'm also going to advance my throttles to full on my thing. The engines got really quiet. Like, am I deaf? I still didn't turn up the frickin'... I'll do that in a second, ladies and gents. 80 knots. V1. Rotate. Ooh, nose are down there, boy. Positive rate. Here's coming up. Hold VT plus 10. Okay. Start edging the flaps up.
15 heavy, contact Memphis, departure on
That's really nose high. 119.4. 1 even. Alright, we're gonna set the speed mode. We're gonna turn on the autopilot. Come on. Hold 2000. You won't. Okay, how about you nose us down here? 500 feet per minute. And just so we can speed up here. We're gonna set you to climb. Flaps. Gonna bring the flaps up. Oh, that's why you're not speeding up, because I'm an idiot.
15 heavy, turn left heading 190, proceed on course. Climb and maintain 6,000. Turn left heading 190, proceed on course. Climb and maintain 6,000. 15 heavy.
Alright, we're gonna set turn on GPS, turn on VOR lock. VOR lock.
15 heavy, turn left heading
Alright,
125.
we're gonna
Turn left heading 125. 15 heavy.
We're gonna increase our vertical speed to 2,000 feet per minute. We're gonna turn off the runway turn-off lights and turn off the logo lights. Alright. Alright. Now we're gonna set the speed hold to 250. Now that we're out of the initial climb there. I mean, we're still climbing to 6,000, but you know.
15 heavy, turn right heading 195, resume on navigation. Turn right heading 195, resume on navigation. 15 heavy.
1,000 to go. Interesting.
15 heavy, climb and maintain 11,000. Memphis departure 15
Ah, didn't mean
heavy,
to do that, but
15 heavy, climb and maintain 11,000. Climb and maintain 11,000. 15 heavy. 15 heavy, contact Memphis departure
just
on
give me a second of downtime to turn up my volume.
15 heavy. Memphis departure 15 heavy is climbing to 6,400 for 11,000. 15 heavy, Memphis departure, roger. Altimeter 2921. 15 heavy, contact Memphis departure on 125.8. 125.8 for 15 heavy. 7,200 for 11,000.
There we go. I turned up too much.
15 heavy.
Is that good? That's better. I'll say it's good. I can't tell if it is though. Come on. Good. There we go. I'm gonna hide that menu bar. Hide the menu bar. Say goodbye to you for a second. There we go. Gotta get the thumbnail. Gotta get that thumbnail.
Heavy, contact Memphis Center on 118.625. 118.625 for 15 heavy. Memphis Center 15 heavy is at 9,500, climbing 11,000. 15 heavy, Memphis Center.
Boom. Now we're gonna increase our speed to 310. I'm gonna give me a little bit of leeway from that barber pole. Go 300. Barber pole is this little thing. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in the past video, but this is the barber pole. This is essentially, hey, don't exceed this speed. That's for literally every plane, but it's more common in airliners because that's where you're more likely to be able to even have the power to even hit the barber pole. Now, of course, if you take a Cessna full power in a nosedive, you're probably gonna hit your max airspeed, but in a typical everyday situation, it's more common. You're more likely gonna hit it in a jet. There we go. Now that we're gonna turn off the ignition here, kind of like on the 737, how you have the starters off and cont for continuous. When it's in the air, we set that to off. I don't know. Again, GPWS wasn't on. Could have looked at the overhead more. Again, this isn't exactly a Boeing plane. It is now, technically. So I don't know really what I should do. Like I said, I don't have a checklist for it. I just have the plane, and I'm doing what makes sense in my mind. And so far, I haven't died. It's like a thing, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. That's kind of like what I'm getting here, So far, everything I've done, it's worked, so why should I change it, Granted, just because you can fly a 747 and do parabolic curves, doesn't mean you should. Your passengers might slap you in the face. Oh, do you know, actually, Lufthansa is, they're using their 747s again. And British Airways is bringing their A380s back into service. It's amazing. The biggest commercial airliner is starting to take to the skies again, along with the Queen. I just wish BA didn't retire its 747s last year. It'd be nice if we still had the British Airways 747s. Unless they're bringing them back into service, but no, I highly doubt it. I don't even know if they have any left in storage for them to bring back into service. But yeah, British Airways is bringing the A380 back. Which is honestly something that shocked me, because they retired the 747 because it was too expensive to maintain compared to the profit. It wasn't bringing in enough profit. And that makes sense because of COVID-19, shut down international travel. But how did the A380 survive? And how the heck did it come back? Blows my mind. I'm pretty sure the A380 is even more money to maintain compared to the 747. Did Lufthansa, I'm scared. Lufthansa A380. Look, I'm trying to figure out something. This plane doesn't have a flight level change, by the way, so I have to use my vertical speed. Right. No, continue in English. Lufthansa A380. Was that ever actually a thing? Oh, Lord. It was. Oh, Lord. Wow. So, back to the PMDG thing. Some person on the Microsoft Flight Sim forums was screaming, "Oh my god, it's never gonna come out. Oh no, it's delayed forever, canceled indefinitely. Oh no." It's not. Trust me, it's not. PMDG would not let an opportunity like this go. When they released their DC-6 for Microsoft Flight Sim, it brought in the most profits they've ever seen for really any platform, for any single product they released. Way more than what it was on really any other platform they released the DC-6 for. Microsoft Flight Sim brought in the most. So it makes sense for them to think the 737 is going to do the same. And if it does, that's going to be a lot of profit for PMDG. They're not going to let an opportunity like that go up just because a couple of months of progress lost. Also, this has happened before. When Sim Update 5 came out, alright, it killed the sim for like a week. And the 737, its progress was halted. Because, you know, it wasn't working. They had to fix it because it broke the sim broke. They had to wait for the sim to get fixed. And then, of course, they had to fix the 737 because it had gotten broken. It took them like a week or two. Like, I'm not even joking. It took them a week or two. It's not even a case of like, oh, it took them a short amount of time. No, I mean that literally. It took them 1 week or 2 weeks. And they got it fixed and they were back on track. Now, it is more likely that it's going to take them longer this time because it's, you know, an issue that Microsoft and the Sobo needs to resolve. But bottom line, it's going to get fixed. They're going to continue work on it. And even if it does get delayed for like 2 months, it's 2 months. It's been in progress for years. And while, yeah, you know, I guess I would be a little upset if it took them, you know, longer than what was initially planned for them to get it. I mean, I'm gonna be 17 in 2 years. So, yeah, by the time PMDG gets all their products out for Microsoft Flight Sim, I'll probably be nearing 18 years of age. So that's somewhat sad. But, you know, at that point in my life, I'll be edging towards the end of high school, and I have a career lined out, and guess what? It's aviation related. I already have a plan laid out for like the job I'm gonna do once I graduate high school, and not once I graduate, but like once I turn 18, the job I'm gonna do, I have that in mind. It's with UPS. I'm going to be taking an aviation course, hopefully next year. For high school, my high school does this course for you. Essentially, you learn aviation and you actually end up taking the FAA private pilot's license written exam. Like, you take the written exam from the FAA to get your pilot's license. So I would actually be having a big step towards my aviation career, and then hopefully, you know, I can actually start going to an instructor and getting flight time, getting my actual license. Like, it's just going to be a bump, but it's still going to be a nice bump. And then, you know, I'll get my license, hopefully, and I'll be able to buy or rent, like, a small plane. And when I'm 18, you know, I'll have my license for flying, and I'll just be working this job at UPS and flying. And that's actually good because they can be at the same place. It's a job up at an airport to essentially load UPS planes, like with cargo and stuff. And, you know, same airport I'd be flying out of, you know, in a light aircraft, building up flight time, and I just essentially be doing that until, you know, I've gotten enough flight hours and I'm 23 years of age, because that's the minimum age required to fly for airlines. And then hopefully, by that time, hopefully, UPS still has MD-11s in their fleet, and then, you know, I'll just kind of upgrade, be like, hey, I got a pilot's license, I'm certified, you know, MD-11, baby. That's my plan, essentially. That's our cruising altitude, by the way. I don't really know how I got sidetracked this hard, but I did. So, it's just a weird thought. But by that time, you know, by the time PMDG gets all their stuff out, it's more likely that I probably won't be that into flight sim, not because I don't like aviation, more so because I don't have the time, and I'm actually working towards an actual aviation-related goal. So that's just a weird thought that I don't really like. Kind of upsetting, but, you know, one step closer to what I want to do in life. By the way, in case you couldn't tell, I have a fondness of the DC-10 and the MD-11. I love tri-jets. It's one of the reasons why I bought this DC-10. I like tri-jets, okay? I like tri-jets, and I like these older style planes with the flight engineer panel and all that, with these gauges and all. And it was $40, really not that much. Oh! Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas. When I'm recording this, it's 3:21 p.m., December 22nd, 2021. Ooh, that cut the audio. I'm sorry. We have 3 days till Christmas. 3 days. Tomorrow, actually, on the 24th, I'm going out of state to go visit family. So me and my dad were leaving tomorrow, and then we're going to be, staying the night. 24th, we're gonna be there. We're gonna do Christmas, like have our grandparents, at their house. They're gonna give their presents to us and all that. And then on Christmas Eve, we're gonna drive back to our home, where we're gonna, go night night. We're gonna wake up on Christmas morning, and boom. Now, I don't really know for certain. I asked for 2 things specifically for Christmas. 2 things. One I'm most likely getting because I've been asking for it for a year. The other thing, not so likely because it's expensive. Very expensive. So the first thing was the...
Heavy, contact Memphis Center on 125.85. 125.85 for 15 heavy. Memphis Center,
The first one is the Honeycomb Alpha yoke. I have a Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant, which is what I use for like all my throttle. It's a very, very nice thing. I love the Honeycomb Bravo unit. The Honeycomb Alpha is essentially a yoke, and that would replace my side stick here. My Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. It's a nice joystick, but it's really not that great compared to the boy, the Honeycomb Alpha. So I'm very excited for that. It would really go nice along with everything. It's really well made, and I do like Honeycomb. I don't really. That's like the first thing I asked for Christmas, and I asked for it like a year ago. Like, hey, can I get this for Christmas this year? Because I got the Honeycomb Bravo for last year's Christmas. We got it in March of this year because shipping was a nightmare because it had to ship from Hong Kong and China, had to ship on a boat all the way here, had to go through customs, and then had to be shipped. I don't know if they shipped it via plane. Doubt it because it had to be shipped from boat, so it's unlikely that they would ship it over land on a plane. So we went through like a truck, and it got all the way across the country from the west coast to the east coast. And then it was in a freaking Amazon plant, a warehouse, for like a week before it finally got shipped out to us. The day I got it, I was literally sitting up. The way our house is, we have a dining room upstairs, and it has like this big window, like the entire wall is a window essentially, facing out onto our front yard. You can see our driveway. I was just sitting there in front of that window for like 2 hours waiting for it to arrive because I was really excited for it. I've been waiting for it for like 4 months. But I finally got it. I'm hoping it's not that bad this time. But it's a great unit. I love it. It's got insane customizability, customization, customizability. The word, you know what I'm talking about. It's got that. It's got a lot of features on it. You've got a bunch of switches. You've got flap lever, a flap switch here. You've got buttons for an autopilot. I don't really use that much. It's got a trim wheel. Got a landing gear lever. It doesn't really work in FSX, but works on modern stuff. Oh shoot! I never switched to standard on the. Yeah, that's my bad. Yeah. You're gonna descend, buddy? You never switched over to Mach. Oh yeah, you don't do that automatically.
15 heavy, please expedite your descent to flight level 370.
I'm descending. Ultra, where's this? Oh, I'm past the barber pole. Ah, that's not good. Man, this is not going good. Speed brake. I need to slow down, and that'll help me to drop. You know, it'd also help if these guys weren't freaking. My light's flickering and that scares me. It usually means I'm about to lose power. And I don't want to lose power. Oh lord. Are my slats deployed on that? No. Thought my slats were deployed. That was how to not be good. Oh, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. The honeycomb outfit's just you know, from what I've seen from the Bravo, I'm very excited. The other thing, I can't. Oh God, let me find the exact link that I sent my mother. Like the exact link. There it is. Okay. So, she said, hey, look, listen, I'm buying your sister something, and it's, you know, a couple $100, and I don't want to feel like I don't want to spend more on one of you, so give me something that's a few $100s, okay? And I was like, oh, bet, Mom. Uh, I, I didn't think of anything. Actually, let me see. So, she said, she texted me when I was out at a friend's house, and she said, if you had a choice between a PS5 and the new Xbox, which would you rather have? And I told her, neither really. I don't play console that much. Could I get a PC part instead? Yeah, what part? Well, how much is the limit? Just tell me what it is. And I was like, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna take advantage of that. If you're not gonna give me a limit on how much money I can spend, I'm gonna go all out. So I sent her I sent her the link to an MSI GeForce RTX 3060, and it's $886. I don't I I don't think I'm getting this. Considering the fact that when I sent her this, there was only like one in stock. There's only 4 in stock right now. Free delivery, January 10th to the 25th. Fastest delivery is the 29th to January 4th. I don't see myself getting this because it's $886. If I did get it, that'd be amazing. But no, I don't see my. She didn't respond to it either. She didn't respond to it. So, you know, if I get a 3060 for Christmas, I'll be a happy man, but I just I just don't think I'm going to get a 3060. To be fair, I did I wanted an RTX card. I've wanted an RTX card for years. Um and I was looking I looked everywhere for 20 series cards, just anything cheap, you know, not necessarily like dirt cheap, you know, not AMD Radeon HD 7850 cheap, but just cheaper than $886. I was looking for like 2060s, 2070s, 2080s, anything but a 30 series because I knew it was going to be expensive, and I couldn't find any 20 series. They were all the only 20 series that I could find that, you know, were cheap, like, you know, $300-400 were they were doing like a giveaway, so you couldn't actually buy it. So I settled on the 3060 because I was like, well, you know, it's really the only thing. It's the only thing I could find. And I'm not joking. Again, I don't think I'm getting a 3060 because it's $800. And you know, that's
15
that's a
Heavy,
lot of money.
contact Memphis Center on
And the honeycomb
126.5.
alpha is already like 200 and $70.
heavy.
So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get it. Be pretty cool though.
15 heavy with you, flight level
Be overkill for my system. I have an R7 3700X, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 1660 Super. An RTX 3060 would be overkill for this system, and I mean overkill. But, you know, it'd still be great. And, you know, I do want to upgrade my PC, mainly the GPU and the RAM. The processor's pretty good. The GPU, I mean, everything about the system, it's good. There's nothing really bad about the system other than my hard drive, which is actually scaring me because I'm nearing 4 years of age on it. That's scary. I do want to up my RAM to, like, 6 to 32 gigs. There's no real reason as to why, other than Minecraft modded is a pain in the A. The processor, it's good. It does fine in most regards. There's just, you know, a couple games to where having a better processor would definitely help. 3060, good. I want to upgrade my GPU because, like, who doesn't want to upgrade their GPU, especially with an RTX, just an RTX card in general, but also the 30 series. Also, especially considering the fact that the 3060 is better than the 2080, and it's also, like, you know, $2,000 cheaper. When it came out, at least. I know the 20 series is, they're definitely lowering. Their cost is definitely dropping. Because the price to performance ratio is just not that great with them compared to the 30 series. So people are like, well, why would I spend like triple the money for something that's, you know, half as good? So yeah. Oh yeah. So there's a plane in the works. Oh, sorry. Let me strip. There's a plane in the works by a group called Rotate Sim. They're working on an MD-11 uh, for um for X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Sim. And I do want to get an MD-11 both because there's 3 reasons. 1, I love trijets. 2, it's a plane that I actually plan to fly in the future. And 3, you know, it's like the modern DC-10. It just kind of add, you know, be like a cool little thing. Like, here's the old, here's the new. It'd just be cool to have. So they've been working on it for a few years actually, and I looked at yesterday. I looked at the screenshots for them, and it's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna contact you. Just want you to know that. Yeah, I'm actually gonna pull it up. You're not gonna be able to hear sound for a second, but I am gonna pull it up here. Okay, OBS, guys, say goodbye. Okay, I think that's. I might have to kick off. There we go. Yeah. So I think that's good. Yeah, that's probably good. So yeah. I mean, it looks great. These are all X-Plane pictures. I believe they're making it for Microsoft Flight Sim. It's actually in beta as of October. It's been there for 2 months, but you know, at least I think they're making this for Microsoft Flight Sim. I didn't find anything yesterday confirming it, but I'm pretty sure that's how I even found out about this. Actually, Microsoft Flight Sim MD-11. Or it's TFDI design. It might not be. Nah. Or are they making it for FSX? Here, Flight Sim Wiki. Bro. FSX has a. Hey, what do these mean? Payware for FS 2020. Oh. Oh, what? It's what? Huh? Okay, so TFDI Designs is the only one. X-Plane, it's a work in progress. Wow, you are neglected. Neglected. So I believe Rotate Sim is actually, I think it's gonna be payware. They've made an MD-80, and that costs money. Specifically, it costs $60 US. So I don't see the MD-11 not costing, just makes sense for it to cost. But I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. Like, look at these shots. Like, that is great. It looks close to being done. Like, if you posted this, all right, if you posted a link, a download link, and these were the pictures, I would download it. I'd buy it because this looks done. Oh, here's a progress video of it. Oh, you can open up. You can open up the window. I'm buying it. Man, I love the MD-11. I really do. God, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, wait a minute. Are we gonna be seeing a takeoff roll here? Oh. Looks beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it looked like he tail strike there. Can we get a reshot of that? Oh, not turn down the volume. Can we get a reshot of that? Rotate there. Look at his tail. I think he tail strikes. It's just it looks too fast, man. I don't think he stopped in time. All right. I don't think he pushed the yoke down in time. I really love actually this livery because there's dirt and grime on it. Too many liveries just look too clean. I mean, the entire model, you can see that they're putting in that extra mile of wear and tear. It looks like it's a used aircraft on the outside model, on the inside, everything. Like you saw the paint on the yoke. Like you can see, I think that actually just might be switches. I can't tell, but like you can see on some of the switches and stuff on the yokes, like it looks as if the paint's chipping off. You see dirt on the model. It's nice. That is great. It actually looks as if they're putting in the extra mile to show, hey, this is an aircraft. This is used, This isn't brand new, right straight off the assembly line. If we were back in like 2000 when this plane was made. So they're in beta testing. We're currently testing the aircraft and fixing bugs. Some features have been added in the last months, and here's how it looks at the moment. So I don't know when it's coming out, but it is coming out eventually, and I love that. I can't wait. I'm gonna be honest, I cannot wait for this plane to come out. I love the MD-11. I love tri-jets in general. There's actually an L-1011 for yeah, Captain Sim L-1011. So Captain Sim, he actually made the he's made the like the 777, the 777s for Microsoft Flight Sim. The ones that people have that's really brought down his reputation because he kind of scammed people with them and then sued people over fair use. Because he was like, okay, so he released the planes. People made liveries for the planes. It's a pay-wear aircraft, but the liveries were free, right? He sued them. He sued the creators of them, and then used their liveries. He took their liveries and then put them on his own website and monetized them. He made them pay. Like you had to pay to get something that isn't even his, that someone else made for free and released to the public for free. So it's really tarnished his reputation. I've never actually seen an L-1011 in real life. I've never seen a DC-10 in real life, but I've seen older brother. I've never actually gone into depth the Lockheed L-1011. You're gonna see some constellations and L-188s, but the L-1011. You know, it's a nice plane. Oh yeah, Delta operated them, and it's still so weird seeing that livery. 250 were built. The Lockheed TriStar. Oh yeah, the air tanker of it, the Stargazer. Pegasus launch vehicle. All right. Landing gear. Oh, whoa. Cathay Pacific. That is such a wow. What was that? 1990. Okay, listen, I've gone on to rants about this in my time. Pictures of planes like this from like the 90s and 80s. Why are they such high quality? Like here's 1972. Like dude, cool. Super cool. I love how they look so crisp and clean. That's so weird considering their age. Like it rivals, oh, this is unfortunate. It rivals modern equipment. Anyways, because I feel like I'm missing something, we're gonna go back to FSX here. I'm gonna turn off display capture there. There you go.
Indianapolis Center 15
How's my
Heavy
audio?
with you, flight level 370.
Yeah, it's fine.
Heavy, Indianapolis Center, Roger.
Probably fine, but fine. And that's a glare. Why are we rocking? Hey, why are we rocking? We are rocking. What's my contrail? I am at 37,000 feet, right? I should have a contrail. But I don't. Alright, well. Okay. I'm actually curious. It's so that page said that there was a freeware MD-11 for FSX. Now I've had freeware. Alright, I've had my time of freeware, but I'm curiosity, man. I've got to find it. So I'm gonna look this up real quick. FSX, not FEX. FSX, um, MD-11. It said there was a payware and a freeware. Oh, here's one on a Raikou. We've actually gotten stuff from them before. Is this the freeware one? Yeah, buddy. Released December 3rd, 2019. Updated December 9th, 2019. 3D cockpit, 92 megabytes. Let me take a look at this cockpit shot, yeah? Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's, ooh. That's, ooh. Yeah. How about no? And I'm assuming this is the payware one, considering it's on Aerosoft. It's at 42 euros. Can I see some pictures, maybe? Description. Oh, Lord. This model is an exact replica formed from the real one. Each and every detail are reproduced on this model without affecting the frame rates, and it's based on flight and maintenance manuals from the aircraft. Has the MD-11 passenger with the General Electric CF6-80 engines and the Pratt & Whitney 4460s, and the freighter with the same thing. Hundreds of animations, accurate linear detail animation with real bogey behavior, dynamic flexible wings, flight ground spoilers, APU doors. Oh, like the flaps that open up to get the APU some air. Moving windshield wipers, GPU, 3D modeled pitos, static probes and static ports, 3D fan blades, virtual cockpit. Hey! fully simulated air conditioning system and fully simulated cabin pressurization system. It's actually pretty cool. That's something that's really left out a lot. I want some pictures of it. That's what I really use to get a understanding of what I would be buying. Pictures. Oh, okay. I don't know Aerosoft's mobile website. Alright, let me look at this cockpit. I mean, okay, some of the textures could use some work. It looks just a little too shiny, like on that throttle lever. And that flap lever. Listen, I've never seen an MD-11 flap lever, but I don't think it's a big purple stick. Alright. Either way, I'm waiting for rotate zone, just because it looks better than anything anyone else could ever offer. Oh, by the way, figure I should mention this. We are not on live weather. Live weather with FSX just doesn't work for me. I don't really know why. We're not on live weather. This is a preset weather. Oh, I never disarmed the auto brake. Never mind, I did, but the spoilers were armed. Alright, that's up. That was in. Did. What the? Let's get on some of these lights. So this doesn't have any lighting. I don't really know why. It just don't. Like, there's some switches down there. They don't do anything. This doesn't really do anything. Oh. I think that's glare. Yeah, that's glare. Yeah. You don't really seem to do anything. What does do something is floodlight. It's pretty nice. Gotta turn that off. Ooh. Found a better screenshot. If only that thing in the top right would go away. Thank you. There we go. Maybe even this. Get the glint off the FedEx. God. How far away are we? Oh. We're still some distance out. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Figured I'd be at least somewhat close. Right. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to be using this overhead, this mini bar. I'm not, no. I'm going to be using this for everything, including access. Excuse me. Including accessing the map. Because every time I've ever used this, I've ended up crashing. So, I'm going to do the typical FSX thing of us saying I'm going to go to them, tuning to them, and then piecing out. I need to go get myself. What? I don't know what happened to me, guys. All right, I don't know why I'm like this now, but I am. I'm gonna go get myself. All right, myself, not myself, myself, some food. I'm gonna chillax, and well, I'll come back in a little bit when I'm a little closer there to New York, and I'll come back and we'll land the plane. So, be right back, guys. Well, not be right back. See you in like an hour or two. Alright, we are
Washington Center 15 heavy
nearing
with you. 15 heavy,
our
Washington
point.
Center,
Now I feel like he's
roger.
going to tell me to make a turn here.
15 heavy, turn left heading 260, descend and maintain flight level 370. Turn left heading 260, climb and maintain flight level 370. 15 heavy. 15 heavy,
Yep.
turn right heading 075, resume on navigation. 15 heavy, turn left heading 230. 15 heavy, turn right heading 050, proceed on course.
Make up
Turn
your
right
mind.
heading 050, proceed on course. 15 heavy. 15 heavy, contact Washington Center on 134.15. Going at 134.15, 15 heavy.
Oh my god, it works.
Washington Center 15 heavy
Dude,
with you, flight
for
level
so
370.
many times would I
15
turn that
heavy,
dial in
Washington
and not
Center,
actually
roger.
put any backlighting on that panel. Oh my god. It works. It's working. It's working. Am I unmuted? Yeah, okay. Turn the flood power. Does it actually light up the cockpit from the outside? I think it does. Oh my god, it does. Got a master caution there. It's not because of fuel. We have 14,000 pounds. I don't really know why it usually does this. Just acknowledge that. Let's see. So they should have us descending here soon. Don't know when, but just soon. We're just gonna chill out till then.
Heavy, contact New York Center on 132.2. Going at 132.215 heavy. New York Center 15 heavy.
And X.12 was announced in September? That seems... Ooh, that seems off. But I believe it, but it just doesn't feel right.
One five heavy, contact New York Center on 132.5.
Keep debating me, man.
132.515 heavy. New York Center, 15 heavy with you. 15 heavy, New York Center, roger.
Any year now. There it is.
Descend and maintain flight level 23015 heavy.
Fuel. Good.
One five heavy. Contact New York Center on 124.625. 124.625. 15 heavy. New York Center 15 heavy is at flight level 313. Descending flight level 230. 15 heavy. New York Center. Roger.
They're Grossway. 296. Alright. ever gonna get vectors? There. Ah, there we go.
Miles southwest, turn left, heading 035, expect vectors ILS. Runway 22, right, approach. Turn left, heading 035, expect vectors ILS. Runway 22, right, approach 15 heavy.
Ready to go. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Thank you. Okay. So KJFK, zoom in, runway 22 right. Which runway is that? U? 22 right. All right. 1095. 2. So 109. Was it 1095? I already forgot that.
15 heavy, descend and maintain 15,000. Descend and maintain 15,000. 15 heavy.
Oh my god. There we go. Connect to
15 heavy, contact New York Center on 124.625. 124.625. 15 heavy. New York Center 15 heavy is out of flight level 225 for 15,000. 15 heavy, New York Center, roger.
I don't think that's I'm checking the frequency again. 1095. 109. There we go.
Heavy, contact New York Center on 118.975. Going at 118.975. 15 heavy. New York Center 15 heavy is at flight level 208, descending 15,000. 15 heavy, New York
Auto
Center,
brake.
roger.
Minimum. ever so slightly with our speed dropping. Not by much though. I'm gonna give out some speed brake. That's why I didn't arm the speed brake. Then who's gonna use it? Okay, are we in cloud? I'm gonna turn on the ATS. Alright, altitude alert. GPS, procedures, select approach, ILS, 22 right, vectors, activate.
15 heavy, turn right heading 060. Turn right heading 060. 15 heavy.
Track with speed brakes.
Heavy, descend and maintain 3000. Descend and maintain 3000. 15 heavy.
Do I have a wing anti-ice? Oh, I do. It's over here on the flange engineer panel, though. Yeah, right there. I don't know why it's over there, but it is. Gonna take that speed brake.
15 heavy, contact New York approach on 127.6. 127.6. 15 heavy. New York approach 15
What do you
heavy
want?
is at 11,300.
20s tonight, followed by a warm-up. We'll soon push us into a stretch of 60-degree days. You act like that's cold. It's really not. You don't know cold until you have to go outside at 6 in the morning in rainy weather where it's already 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Because that's cold. About past 10,000, we're going to get those landing lights on. Put on the seatbelt sign, even though we are a cargo aircraft. Man, it's like my pitot heater ain't on. How much that's jumping, but I mean, it is on. Maybe not for the FO. It is on for me. I'll let off the speed brake a little there. And engine anti-ice. There we go. Engine and ant anti-ice. What's the ant? What's the ant? Curiosity. Wing light. Do you work? Yes. It does. Cool, actually. Wrong thing. There we go. We got DME yet? Oh, we do. 27 miles. I don't know if icing is actually a thing in FSX. I doubt it, because it's not a thing in X-Plane, I don't think. I think Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 was the first one to at least give visual ice. If it didn't actually simulate, if it's not the first to simulate icing, it's at least the first to demonstrate visual icing. Although I gotta admit, when it came out, it was a tad bit overkill. Going in the A320 up to cruise, and even no matter what the conditions are, you're a popsicle. You go into the external camera, your wings covered with ice, your radome covered in ice. The fuselage, what fuselage? You're an icicle. Put on some speed brake. Trying to keep us under 250. We're going to go into this page here, go to the approach page, calculate approach speeds. Alright, so final speed is going to be 127 at 50-degree flaps. I'm actually going to keep this on. To the right. Track the speed brake there.
15 heavy, turn right heading 095. Turn right heading 095, 15 heavy.
I'm gonna go ahead and get that logo light on. .5 DME.
15 heavy, turn left heading 065. Turn left heading 065, 15 heavy. 15 heavy, contact New York approach on 120.8. Going at 120.8, 15 heavy. New York approach, 15 heavy, with you, 3000. 15 heavy, New York approach, roger, altimeter 2921. Heavy, turn right heading 100. Turn right heading 100, 15 heavy. 15 heavy, turn right heading 135. Turn right heading 135, 15 heavy.
I'm gonna go ahead and arm that spoiler. Oh, it's already armed. Okay. Well, I don't know how much I like the auto arming of my spoiler, but you do you, I guess. Just don't kill me. Fuel, 9,810 pounds. Really, 6 o'clock in New York? No. Are they an hour behind? Are they an hour? Are they an hour ahead? Oh wait, you're not local time, are you? Yeah, no. But it still wouldn't be 6, because there's a 5-hour difference. I don't know.
15 Heavy, you are 22 miles north, turn right, heading 195, descend and maintain 1,900, cleared. ILS, runway 22, right, approach, maintain 1,900 until established on the localizer. Contact Kennedy Tower on 119.1. Turn right, heading 195, descend and maintain 1,900, cleared. ILS, runway 22, right, approach, maintain 1,900 until established. Tower on 119.115 heavy.
Alright, time to change the tower. 11901.
Kennedy Tower, 15 heavy, altitude 0 miles north, inbound ILS, runway 22, right, approach. 15 heavy, Kennedy Tower, fly straight in,
Shit,
runway
spoilers
22,
down.
right, altimeter 2921. Fly straight in, runway 22, right, 15 heavy.
It's up there. The little slats deployed. Um, 220. And bring it down to 210. Flaps 15. can catch the look. Hmm. Alright. Seems like it is. That's good, that's good, that's good. The engines are so quiet. Wow. They should not be this quiet. See now, where's the runway? Don't tell me that's it.
Heavy, cleared to land, runway 22 right. Cleared to land, runway 22 right, 15 heavy.
22. You're coming down. Oh, that's the runway. Shrouded in darkness. That's not fun. Nose light on. What's my landing speed? 127. Put out the flaps some more to 35. And we're actually below the glide slope. Lift. Alright. 1,000 on the RA. Gonna take off the auto throttle. And I'm gonna kick off the autopilot. I'm not trusting that glide slope indicator because I'm pretty low here. But it's saying I'm too high. Now, typically, on most runways, you don't want to touch down in the run-up spot. Like, towards the run-up. Which is like these little arrows, although I think I put her, yeah, I'm gonna power down. Yeah, see those little arrows? You don't really want to land on those. You want to land past the threshold.
100, 50, 30, 10.
Ooh. Thrust reversers deployed. Spoiler didn't deploy. Alright. Alright. Now we're going to cut the spoilers. Cut the thrust reversers. That was had a great landing. Alright, I'm gonna start manual braking. Get the auto brake kicked off. I'm gonna track the spoilers. They want to auto deploy because of that. Track them. There we go. I've done better.
15 heavy,
I've had better landings. I have had better landings. Gonna set the parking brake. 121 65. I'm gonna take a look at the outside. If the model would load. Look at that. It's a nice plane. Hold it. Oh, I'm just a little to the right. Alright. Landing lights off. We're going to keep the nose light on. We're going to turn off the strobes. We're going to keep the logo light on. We're going to keep all that on, actually. Going to stay on. We're going to turn off the GPWS. We're going to set you to continuous. Passenger signs are on. We're going to turn on the floodlight while I go through this. Flight director's off. Autopilot is off. Autopilot is off. We'll get off all of this, actually. Okay, so it's already kicked off. Here we're going to go ahead and get that APU up and running. APU fuel pump, APU start. 3, 4, 5. APU run. Looking at all that. Seems good, seems good, seems good. Let's look at the overhead. Alright, so we're good. I'm gonna turn off the floodlight. Let's taxi the gate. Oh, wait. You know what? I trust you to put me by gate. When I click gate, I trust you to put me at a cargo ramp.
Kennedy, ground 15 heavy, taxi to the gate. 15 heavy, taxi to gate, echo 11, via taxiway, Kilo Bravo, Kilo Alpha, Lima Alpha.
I don't know if that's a
Taxi to gate, echo
cargo
11,
gate,
via
I'm being
taxiway,
honest.
Kilo Bravo, Kilo Alpha, Lima Alpha.
Place the parking
15
brake.
heavy.
And, knew I forgot one thing. Flaps. Bring those flaps up. The flaps. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Echo 11 is a cargo ramp. I think that's like a passenger terminal. Could be wrong. Never been to JFK. Been to LaGuardia though. Although I think the main passenger terminal is over there. Meaning if it's taking me this way, although there's a turn coming up. I don't know. How about no speculation, just see when we get there. If it's a cargo ramp, good. If it's a passenger terminal, you know, unfortunate. Would prefer if it took me to a cargo terminal, considering this is a cargo aircraft. But I don't know if the config files for it are set for that. They could be, I don't know. Although I'm not seeing anything that would say, hey, this is a passenger terminal and it's kind of isolated. Typically cargo terminals are isolated. I say isolated. It'll be fine. Oh, can I make this turn? Ooh, can I make this turn though? I don't want to go into the snow lane. Made the turn. That's surprising. Alright. We're gonna... This is FSX. Nose let off. Never turn on the runway. Turn off. Interesting. Finger in. Have to be my own marshal. Go. Parking brake. Is set. Alright, now floodlight can go on. Move over to the flight engineer panel. APU isolation valve. Open. APU gen on. Gen buses on. Look at the aux pumps on. Alright. Let's kill those engines. Let's turn ignition off. Window de-icers off. Avionics off. Turn you off. Turn the navigation lights off. Turn the beacon lights off. Turn the anti-skid off. Turn off the yaw damper. Turn off the pitot heater. Turn off those signs. Let's turn off the emergency lights. Disarm them even. Engine generators going off. Fuel pumps off. Hydraulic pumps. Hydraulic pumps off. Rudder standby power off. Alright. We're gonna turn off you. We're going to turn off. You guys are already off. We're gonna turn off you though. Come over here, get rid of you, open up the door panel menu, and just open up some doors. Air panel. Water line drain. Portable water system 1. Huh, okay. Oh, hey! The interior loaded this time. Now, if only I had some ground vehicles. Would you look at that? It's nice. That is nice. That is nice. That is nice. That is nice. Alright. Well, that's open. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the aircraft. You're gonna turn off the logo light. Make sure everything up there's off. Everything up there seems off. Actually not. All of you, turn off the lighting. Such. Okay, we're gonna turn off the auxiliary hydraulic pumps. Going to turn off the APU isolation valve. We're going to turn the packs off. Turn off the pneumatic supply systems. We're going to turn off the APU. Disconnect the gen buses and turn off the APU gen. We're going to turn off the galley bus. Just going to turn off the lights on that. Turn off the AC bus ties. Turn off the DC bus ties. And... ooh, wait. Trim air off. Cabin air recirc fans off. Let me set you back to 1 because I want to. And for some reason, the indicators, the cargo doors are not working. Send that to maintenance. And battery master. actually curious. Does that turn off the lights on the outside of the aircraft, like on the inside, but like the external camera? It does actually. And for some reason, I broke it. I broke the model. The inside floor is gone again. Okay. You know what? You know how we're gonna fix that? We're just gonna close the door. Close those. Close the cargo holds. Man, if they'd ever close. Now it's just a waiting game for the main door. And when you finally close, I'm gonna do a final check on the inside, just making sure it is actually all shut down as to the way I want it. Alright, you're closed. We're gonna start with the inside here, just looking at everything and anything, making sure everything is actually off. If I turn on that battery master, make sure the floodlight. Okay, so the floodlight seems to kick off when you turn off the battery master, like the switch goes back to its neutral position. That's odd. Anti-skid is off, yaw damper is off, all the kind of lightings are off. All the external lights are off. De-icing, anti-icing, pitot heater, avionics off, ignition is off, GPWS is off. Flight engineer panel, all the galley stuff is off, APU stuff is off, the indicators are off, all of you are off. You're in 2, but that's okay, you're just a rotary switch for an indicator. DC and AC bus ties are off. I'm actually gonna just engine gens are off. Auxiliary pumps are off, or standby pumps are off. Hydraulic pumps are off. Fuel pumps are off. Max supplies off. AP isolation valve is closed. All of you guys are off. Packs are off. You guys are where you're meant to be. These are off. These are off. Cabin reset valves are off. Oh, CVR and flight recorder. That goes off. That was meant to go off before it turned off. Before it turned off any of the electrical systems, that was meant to go off. Alright. But that's everything. So that's the flight complete. Get one final look at this wonderful DC-10. And that's it for this.